Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. People, this the intro.
Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Chicago Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic. And it's officially week 2 of the NFL season, and I am joined once again by my good friend Joe. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Week 1's over. We can flush that shit out of our system, whatever the fuck that was. But we do have a special guest before we move forward with the week 2 picks. It's my brother-in-law, Young Zell. How you doing, Young Zell?
Oh, man, kicking it like a donkey, swinging it like a monkey, man.
I love it. I love the energy. As I was recording the week 1 picks, right, and I posted the video, Denzel instantly messaged me. He called me. He's like, hey, I got to be on week 2 picks. I said, you know what? If you want to come on Keek on the Mic, you're more than welcome to. So Young Zell's in the building. Just to let you guys know, he is a Broncos fan. It's okay. We're all losers this week, right? We all lost week 1. So none of us really have bragging rights going into this episode.
That's true. Losing could turn you into an alcoholic. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Week one was tough for all of us. So what was your guys' biggest surprises of week 1 before we move on to week 2 picks?
You want to go first, Denzel, or you want me to go first?
You go first.
I think the biggest surprise this week was kind of the Rams, I mean, I don't think anyone had them beating the Seahawks, at least not that I've seen, I think that was a pretty big surprise right there. I mean, week 1, I feel like is always just full of surprises, because it's the first week. So, I mean, anything can happen, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rams was surprising. I'll probably go with the Jets because I didn't expect it. After Aaron Rodgers went down, I said, it's about to get ugly. And they pulled it out. That's
true.
Kudos to that Jets defense. I think the biggest surprise for me is I figured that the Cowboys would win, but not 40-0. I thought the Giants were a lot better football team going into the season, but they absolutely dismantled the New York Giants in New York at that. So my one thing, it may be the Cowboys' year, fellas. Finally. It could be. But like they say, week 1 is the biggest liar in the National Football League every single year.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope so.
So let's go ahead and have some fun before we move forward. My record last week in week 1 was 7-9, and Joe did have an 8-8 record. So technically, Joe did have a winning record. It came down to that final game, Jets versus Bills.
My upset of the week, baby.
Yeah, that was Joe's upset of the week, and he got it right. At first, it wasn't going to be right, and then the Jets defense went on turbo mode and said, you know what? We got you, Joe. So you end up winning the week.
I barely made it, but I'll take it.
You barely made it. So we're going to have our records on the screen the whole time. And at the end of this episode of Keek on the Mic, we'll also put all our picks on the screen as well, so you guys can see our week 2 NFL picks. So we're going to start off with Thursday night football and how this is going to go. Denzel, since you are the guest, you can go first on every single pick, and then it'll go Joe, and then it'll go me. Okay. So Thursday night football, we have the Vikings at the Philadelphia Eagles. So you got, Young Zell?
I went back and forth with this one. I low-key thought the Vikings might have be able to pull this out. Bradbury's hurt. I don't know, but I'm still going to Eagles. I still got the Eagles. I think they still going to get it done. That offense, they clicking. It's Jalen Hurts, man. I still got them.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Eagles as well. Bears fans are going to like this. This is what I got to say about the Vikings. Fuck you.
I love the energy. Obviously within reason, I always try to go against my division opponents. I don't care who they're playing, but within reason, I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles as well. I think they're a better football team. Obviously, no one thought the Buccaneers were going to beat the Vikings last week, but they got it done. And the Vikings, I knew they were going to take a downhill slope this season. I think the Eagles are the better football team in Philadelphia. I'm taking Jalen Hurts and the Eagles as well.
Yeah. And the only reason I'm saying that to the Vikings fans and to the Vikings is because I put money on the Vikings last week. I'm like, okay, Vikings versus the Bucks. I'm like, the Vikings, the Vikings should win that. No, they didn't. So
you ain't fucking with them.
Yeah. So we all got the Philadelphia Eagles over the Vikings on Thursday Night Football. Now we're going to go into the Sunday slate of games where it starts out with the Bears heading to Tampa trying to rebound against the Bucks. You got Denzel.
Bears fans, I'm rolling with y'all. I'm rolling with y'all this week. I'm letting you know now. I'm gonna pull this one out. I don't know if I can pick you next week. You know what I'm saying? But no, the Bucks is a good team. You know, Mayfield, he's underrated. You know, they got Mike Evans, Godwin over there. They roll, but I feel like the Bears kind of know this game. It's not a must win. No game in week 2 is a must win.
Yeah.
But it's a must win for the mental. You know, they gotta
sure.
kind of. They don't want to have that. Oh, here we go again.
Right, for sure. How about you, Joe?
I'm gonna roll with the Bears again as well. I expect the Chicago Bears to bounce back, and I expect Justin Fields, to bounce back. I just expect the whole team just to come out, and try to bounce back from that loss last week. That's kind of what I want to see from the Bears, just how they respond to last week.
Okay, before I give my pick, which everyone knows who I'm picking, you guys said the same shit last week, right? You guys said the same shit last week, and Jordan Love trotted his happy ass into Soldier Field and gave us an ass whooping. So, you know what? I'm not sure if I can sit here and believe you guys, but at the end of the day, I don't want the Bears or Justin Fields to be judged by their losses. I want them to be judged on how they respond to those losses. I think if Justin Fields can come in and respond in a big way, who gives a damn about week 1? Of course, it still sucks that we lost to the Packers. But once again, if this football team can make those adjustments, Justin Fields has a big day. No one will even remember that week 1 loss, right? So obviously I have the Bears. It's an easy choice for me. I think they do rebound in a big way. No disrespect to Baker Mayfield. That defense is still a very good defensive front in Tampa Bay. So it's going to be a tough day for Justin Fields and offense to try to get things going. But at the end of the day, I do think they rebound in a big way. So we all have the Chicago Bears over the Bucks. Now we have Jordan Love and the Packers going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons.
Sorry, Bears fans.
Don't do it, Denzel. Don't do it.
I'm rolling with the pack. I'm rolling with them. I think the Falcons, I don't know. They played good last week, got the dub. But I don't know. The Packers, Jordan Love, he looked all right. And he's been in that system for a minute. So I think they're gonna pull this one out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going with the Packers as well. I think their defense might just be a little too much for the Falcons. I didn't really see much of their offense. I didn't really see much of that game, but I just feel like the Packers have the better overall football team in general than the Falcons.
Yeah, my honest assessment on the Green Bay Packers, that's not what I expected for Jordan Love. I expected worse, obviously. I'm going into that week 1 matchup, but he played well. I think Matt LaFleur is a great coach. He puts his players in a position to succeed. Obviously, their offensive defensive line are really good. But I think when you look at Atlanta's defensive line, it's a lot better than Chicago's defensive line. Another factor that we need to consider is Christian Watson playing, and is Aaron Jones going to play? Aaron Jones did kind of tweak up his hamstring at the end of that Bears win. So if Aaron Jones is inactive for Green Bay and Jordan Love, who's next? Who's up next? Because AJ Dillon cannot do what Aaron Jones can do for a full game. AJ Dillon is just a compliment to what Aaron Jones can do. So that's to me where I'm keeping an eye on Green Bay in this game against the Falcons. If Aaron Jones is out of this game, it's going to be tough, because that's who killed us, was Aaron Jones by himself. So and that's a big thing for Green Bay's offense. I think it's going to be a great game. I also think that Atlanta low key has a really good running game as well. But it also depends on how I think it's Desmond Ridder, the starting quarterback over there, how he plays against a pretty impressive Green Bay Packers defense. So I think it's going to be a good game. And I'm not going for the goddamn Green Bay Packers. I got the Falcons in this one. So you guys got the Packers. I got the Falcons. Now we're moving on to the Colts at Texans. Pretty good game, Denzel.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts on this one.
Okay.
I think they're going to pull it out. It's rookie versus rookie. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see who's starting the career off better, at least right now. But I think the Colts going to pull this one out.
Yeah, okay. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, I'm rolling with Denzel, too. I like the Colts in this one. I think I've seen a little more from Anthony Richardson in his first start versus what I've seen in C.J. Stroud. I know they played the Ravens, but I think, the Colts played the Jags, So, that's still a pretty tough team as well. But, yeah, I think the Colts can pull this one out.
Yeah, I also got the Colts as well. I think when it comes down to it, the Colts just have a better roster around Anthony Richardson. The Texans are kind of like the Bears in this sense. They're still in the rebuilding phase, right? So they're still getting there. They will get there eventually, but I think at this moment, the Colts just have a better team around Anthony Richardson. So now we're moving on to another intriguing game, the Seahawks at the Lions. Denzel, do the Seahawks rebound this week?
Nah, they don't. I think the Lions go pull it out, man. Golf about to go in there. I think about the Seahawks. They're a very good team, talented. But is Geno really him? That's the question.
Okay.
And we still got to. We didn't see it last week. Can he bounce back? I don't think so. I think the Lions' offense. I think they rolling high off that Chiefs win, and
Okay.
you can't tell them nothing right now.
Okay. Yeah, especially Don Burr, right?
Yeah, especially Don Burr.
How about you, Joe?
Yeah. I do think the Seahawks rebound. I'm going with the Seahawks. I think that was kind of just like I said, that week one. I think the Seahawks are a much better football team than that. I think they showed that last season. Obviously, this is a new season, but I still think the Seahawks have a good enough offense and a good enough defense to be able to pull this one out.
Yeah, obviously, Joe and Denzel, the Seahawks loss to the Rams was a huge surprise, but I don't think that's any indication on how good the Seahawks actually are. Once again, week one is the biggest liar in the National Football League, and I think that was a huge surprise. I think that's a huge liar. But let's dim the lights and let's set the scene for this game really quick. The Lions coming off a very emotional big win against the Kansas City Chiefs. Huge win. I'll give them credit for that. Not only that, it's their first home game of the season. Barry Sanders is getting his statue revealed at this game. Tickets are sold out. You can't even get tickets for the Detroit Lions game right now when it's a home game because
so they can't lose. They can't lose this game.
This game is
they can't lose this one. Not for Barry Sanders. Yeah,
this game is going to be electric. But guess what? They're going to disappoint this week. I got the Seahawks bouncing back in a huge way, fellas. There's no way that Geno Smith, the GOAT, is going to lose this game.
The what?
I'm sorry. I just want a little overreaction. I'm trying to get views, okay, Denzel. I'm trying to get views here. No,
Geno tight though. Geno tight. He tight.
Yeah, but and this is actually my upset of the week. I truly feel that this is gonna be the upset of the week. I think Seahawks, along with Joe, I think they're gonna bounce back in a big way this week. So now we're moving on to Joe's favorite team, the Chargers at the Titans. Denzel, do the Chargers bounce back this week?
I'm gonna be honest, as a Broncos fan, hope they get their ass whooped. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the Chargers gonna pull out the dub. Herbert is Herbert, man. That's it. Justin Herbert. That's all I gotta say. So I think they're gonna win.
Okay, go ahead, Joe.
Yep, I'm rocking on my team. The Chargers. I just feel like this, like I said last week, it's another game versus the AFC team that we have to win when it comes down to the end of the season. And the playoff records are showing, it goes down to the conference record. So, I mean, the Chargers, they have to win this game, man. They got to beat the teams they're supposed to beat. It's just, it's disappointing, when they can't get the job done when they should.
Yeah, you know what's tough about this game, and just for the Chargers situation here, this is already not, and usually it's not like this for other teams, but already in week 2, this is a must-win game for the Los Angeles Chargers. If you guys drop to 0-2, especially with the division you guys are in, and just not even the division, but the conference you guys are in, this is a must-win game. My question is not with Justin Herbert. My question with the Chargers every year is, can they finish the game? You guys are in every single game. You guys are leading always in the fourth quarter with about 5 minutes to go. But then once that last couple minutes hits in the fourth quarter, what are the Chargers going to do to screw themselves? That's how I look at it, right?
They call it charging. That's what they call it, charging.
Right. But I still believe in the Los Angeles Chargers. I think my belief with the Chargers sticks with Herbert, right? Herbert is that guy. Herbert has a chance to be MVP of the National Football League this year. He is that good.
Yeah.
But now it's up to the Chargers defense to finish some games as well. Obviously, Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill, but this week you have a more favorable matchup. Of course, you have to stop Derrick Henry, but that's it. Yeah. You stop Derrick Henry, you mostly likely can control this game. I think Chargers rebound in a big way this week.
I hope so. We'll see.
So now we're moving on to the Ravens at Bengals. And obviously, once again, week 1 is the biggest liar because what in the hell happened to the Bengals and Joe Burrow? What's your pick, Denzel?
I don't know what the hell happened last week. That was crazy. I'm going with Joe Cool, man. Joe Cool, he going to come through, do his thing. Bengals going to bounce back. Especially the Ravens. If I'm not, then isn't J.K. out? J.K. Dobbins out for the rest of the year now. That's a big blow, So I think Joe Burrow gonna bounce back and they're gonna come out with it.
Okay. How about you, Joe?
I'm gonna roll with the Ravens on this one. I like what I've seen from. Lamar probably didn't have his best game last week, maybe, but I think neither did Joe Burrow. Obviously, I still feel like Joe Burrow might be dealing with that injury. You know, he looked real timid. He wasn't making throws the way he normally throws. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens on this one.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup, guys, because when you look at the Ravens, they kind of scooted away along week one. They didn't look great, but neither did the Bengals. But for some reason, just like with Herbert, I have that same confidence with Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring the same thing up with the Chiefs. There's no way in my mind that the Bengals lose 2 in a row. It just doesn't seem right when they're supposed to be one of the AFC's best, right? And this is a big game for AFC implications. Even in week 2, this is going to come down later in the year, whoever wins this game, right? I for some reason, I just want to go with Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I'm going to take Bengals in a big one here.
Yeah, I mean, this could be even more big for them, too, because then if they lose this one, that means they're already 0-2 in their division.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. It's a big game. It's a huge game, right? So we'll definitely have to see if the Bengals can rebound. So the next game on our list, we have the Las Vegas Raiders heading to Buffalo to take on the Bills. So once again, the same question, Denzel. Josh Allen looked like complete crap in week 1. Can he rebound a big way?
Facts. Facts.
Okay.
As much, I'm a Broncos fan. Russ, we know how the year had. Russ threw 2 TD on them boys, and we lost. But that's Allen.
Yeah.
And I hate the Raiders. But I'm not being biased, right? I really think the Bills going to bounce back. Josh, he knows he can't have 3 picks and a fumble. You can't do that. He knows that. So he's about to. Yeah. I think they're going to pull it out. I'm going with the Bills.
For sure. How about you, Joe?
I mean, the obvious pick would be the Bills right here, right?
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
My upset of the week sounds crazy. I'm gonna take the Raiders this week over the Bills. It sounds crazy, but I don't know. Something's telling me the Raiders are gonna pull this one out. Something's just telling. I don't know. That was when I was looking through the games, and I was looking for an upset of the week. I was like, I want to go bold. And I know the Raiders are in my division, but I don't know. Something's just telling me they're gonna pull this out somehow.
Let me tell you guys something with the Raiders, and it's mainly about Jimmy Garoppolo. The dude absolutely knows how to win in the regular season. When it comes to playoffs, don't even mention his name. When it comes to the regular season, the dude gets it done. My question for the Raiders now is I think Devontae Adams is a little bit banged up, so I'm not sure what his status is looking like. But when I look at, once again, one of the AFC's best in the Bills, this has to be their year along with the Chargers. They're in there for Super Bowl contenders. There's no way that team can go 0-2. There's no way the Bengals should go 0-2. And a little bit later, there's no way the Kansas City Chiefs can afford to go 0-2. So I think Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills rebound in a huge way over the Raiders, especially at home, their first home game of the season.
Right.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
It's very much possible. Like I said, I don't know if some was telling me to go bold on my upset of the week this week. So,
and I will say, as much as I don't like the Raiders, Jimmy G is a winner. I got to keep the same energy because I liked him when he was with the Niners, and I always thought Jimmy wins. He came to the Raiders. Hey, did it against us? He wins. If it's a close game, it could be definitely a toss-up because he knows how to pull those out.
Yeah, if it's a close game, you're basically screwed with Jimmy G. I'm not gonna lie.
And the thing too, I think the one thing too the Raiders have an advantage on is that run game. I mean, if Josh Jacobs gets going and they're killing that clock, I mean,
that's true.
That's a way they can win that game.
Absolutely, for sure. If they can control the game by running the football, keep Josh Allen on the sideline, that is a recipe for success. It's going to be tough because it's not in Vegas, right? Even though the Raiders don't really have technically fans because it's just, tourists going to watch the Raiders play. It's going to be a tough environment. The Bills have to win this game. It's a must-win game, just like the Chargers. So the environment's going to be electric in Buffalo this weekend. So now we're moving on to the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. A huge game, Denzel.
It's time for that upset of the week.
I like it.
I think Trevor Lawrence is gonna go in there, and I think he's gonna pull it out. It's gonna be tough, but they could score with him. That's not the issue. The Jags can put up points. The Chiefs' defense has always been a little suspect. I know they're getting Jones back, and that's gonna help out a lot. But I think the Jags are gonna upset them.
Okay, I love it. How about you, Joe?
I'm going with KC, kind of like what we talked about last week. It's hard to go against the MVP himself, Patrick Mahomes, and after that Lions game last week, he said that really pissed him off. So I mean, expect a pissed off Patrick Mahomes this week, and he's going to come out and make sure the Chiefs win this game.
Yeah, you know what's scary, guys, is even in that week 1 loss, without Chris Jones, without Travis Kelce, they lost by 1 point.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes still looked like the best player in the world.
Definitely.
No problem. He made scrubs look like great receivers, even though they didn't look like that, right? They dropped some key passes in that game. But once again, like Denzel brought up, you get Chris Jones back. Travis Kelce should be back. There's no disrespect for Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. They are a really good football team. They're built to win a game like this weekend, right? And if they do, this is a statement game for them. This is like, okay, we are here, AFC, right? We are here to compete, right? Then they would be one of the AFC's best at that point as well. But I can't go against Patrick Mahomes. He is pissed off, right? And they had since last Thursday to sit there and brew and think about this. Yeah, I don't think there's always a chance, but I don't think there's a damn chance that the Jags win this game.
Yeah, I feel it.
So now we're moving on. So now we're moving on to the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Rams. Should be a pretty easy pick, right, Denzel?
Yeah, I'm going with the Niners on this. But them and the Steelers, I didn't expect it to be like that, so lopsided. 49ers, Brock looking like he's one of them. He came out he just got back where he left off at. So, I go with the 49ers. It's going to be tough. It's a division game,
Right.
It ain't going to be it's not going to be like last week, but I think
No.
they can pull it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Niners too, and I'll say first-handedly, Brock really impressed me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the way he just runs that offense, it just looks so smooth.
Yeah.
And it just makes the Niners that much more scarier. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I thought the Steelers had much more of a chance last week than what happened, and I mean, they just put it on them. I mean,
Yeah.
it was bad. I mean. I mean, the Niners just look dominant.
Yeah, I got to give Brock Purdy a lot of credit. And it's not that I didn't believe in Brock Purdy. It's like I just wanted to see him do it more, right? And I expected more from the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. They didn't show anything. It's Brock Purdy absolutely dominated. He doesn't have to do much. Just be a game manager. He doesn't have to elevate his game ever because you have that defense behind you. You have playmakers on the outside. And shout out to Brandon Ayuk. Who knows? I always knew that he was a dog, but that man is
He
a
went off.
dog. Like,
Yeah.
they made the Pittsburgh Steelers look like a high school team. Like, there was actually something. I think it was like Trent Williams came out after the game. He's like, there was a point where they were cheering for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense to do something because they were getting tired of going back on the field. It was like 3 and out, because that's how good, that's how dominant the San Francisco 49ers defense was. And I was like, damn, that is bad. That's how you know you whoop someone's ass, right? So I don't think there's always a chance it's a divisional game, like Denzel mentioned, but I think the 49ers all the way on this one.
Yeah, for sure. And last year, am I mistaken? Wasn't Ayuk like in the beginning of the year saying like I want the ball more? They're not giving it to me as much.
Yeah.
He's showing why. He's like, this is why I said I wanted the ball. He's balling.
He has proven that he's a true number one wide receiver in this league.
I mean,
no question.
I just feel like it makes them that much more scarier. You give guys like McCaffrey a break, give guys like Kittle a break. Like if someone else is taking those touches, it keeps them fresh.
Yeah, and I hate to say this, guys, because we all live in California, but this legitimately may be the 49ers year. Like, if they keep this up, I don't think there's anything that can stop them. Not even the Eagles, right? I think this is legitimately their year if they can stay healthy.
They're on that revenge. They're on that revenge tour for the
sure.
Eagles. They're coming for Philly.
Yeah, for sure. So now we're gonna move on to. I laugh because the Giants. I don't know what the fuck happened to them. The Giants at the Cardinals. This is like, I don't know. This game to me is not intriguing whatsoever. I think the Giants are still a very good football team, but Denzel, who do you got in this one?
Oh, that's the get right game. This where you get up, dust yourself off. You got somebody to go, figuratively go punch on because we know what the Cards is doing. Yeah. So it's like they don't win this one, then we gotta have a conversation about old Danny boy over there. But no, I think they're gonna back. I got the Giants.
Okay, good. How about you, Joe?
I'm taking the Giants too. I mean, man, I feel like I don't even know the word what to use like for picking the Giants last week versus the Cowboys. Like, I mean, that was just
I
don't think nobody expected that though.
I think I turned the game off when it was 26-0. You know what I mean? So I was like, there's no point of watching the rest of this game. But I mean, they should bounce back right here versus the Cardinals. Like Denzel said, Danny Dimes got to do something. I mean, they just paid him that money, like
Yeah.
he can't lose. I mean, it's just you can't lose
Yeah,
40-0 to like that's so embarrassing.
yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things, like it's like the perfect, like Denzel says, the perfect get right game
Yeah,
for the Giants too. Like they're so lucky they didn't play like the Eagles or something like that. Cause then it's like your confidence is gonna be shot after because they would have got blown out by the Eagles too at this point. But I think
Oh
it's the
yeah,
perfect get right game. I hope it's the biggest liar for them. Like week 1 was a liar for them, but that was bad. Like everyone looked lost. It just seems like people have finally figured out Ryan Dable. It kind of reminds me of when we had Matt Nagy and the Bears offense looked decent in 2018. And then the year after, everyone figured us out and they're like, oh, Matt Nagy's really not that good. Hopefully that's not the case for Brian Dable because they did just pay Daniel Jones all that money, right? So they definitely need to get right game. This is the perfect opportunity. I got the Giants as well in this matchup. Hopefully it works out for their fans for sure. So now we're moving on to me, it would have been a really intriguing game with Aaron Rodgers. I don't feel bad for him. I think he's an asshole. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Never liked Aaron Rodgers because what he did to my Bears. But I hope he gets. I really do.
No mercy,
Right. I hope he gets well soon. I do feel for the New York Jets fans, but we have Jets at the Cowboys. Ooh.
I'm going. It might be another 40-0. Cowboys might do it again. I really think so because man, that boy Micah Parsons is ridiculous. And right now he's on a mission. I've seen a lot of his like quotes and stuff and interviews on different podcasts over the offseason. He's in a different bag this year. Like he knows what he wants. He knows what he thinks this team could be, and he wants to be the reason. So it might be another one. If it's not 40-0, it might be 30, 35, 36. I think it's really gonna get bad.
Okay. That's bold. How about you, Joe? What do you think?
I'm with Denzel on this. I mean, I don't know about 40-0 again, but
That probably won't happen.
I think the Cowboys. I mean, honestly, that their defense could put up another dominant performance. I just don't know if Zach. I mean, he pulled it off last week versus a very good Buffalo team, but just dude, that Cowboys defense looks scary. And Micah Parsons, I think, does have a good shot to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. I mean, he is a freaking beast.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll take the Cowboys right here.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Cowboys, but I do want to give the Jets defense a lot of credit. They're going to have to pick up that team, but here's the problem. They're going to be on the field way too much. We all know that people are going to now hone in and have a awesome game plan against Zach Wilson that he's not going to be able to do nothing. We all know what Zach Wilson is at this point. The Jets defense can only do so much. The Cowboys are just a complete football team. Right now, after week 1, my prediction is Cowboys 49ers an NFC title game. And I'll be completely, that's going to be, if everything stays healthy, that's going to be a game. I know I'm looking ahead a schedule, but after week 1, those are the 2 most dominant teams in the NFC right now. So I got the Cowboys in this one as well.
For sure. And man, yeah, like you said, it really would have been a intriguing game if I mean, to me, I know you're showing no mercy, but man, that has to suck for the Jets fans right there, dude.
Yeah, and before people come at me, I do feel bad for his injury. It does suck, but the dude said he owned us, which he does. He owned the Bears, but that's karma. That's what you get sometimes, right? You're over here talking all this mess, right? Thinking grass is greener on the other side, not trying to help the Green Bay Packers out, right? And just stay put. And you came in the last 4 plays in New York.
Man,
what a shame.
I seen a video someone posted Aaron Rodgers highlights, and it was him running out the flag. And then that was it.
And that was it. Yeah, that was it. That was it. Yeah. It definitely sucks for Jets fans, but hey, they'll get over it. They're used to heartbreak, right? So it's all good. So now we're moving on to the Commanders at the Denver Broncos. Denzel, let's ride, right?
Yes, Sirski. We bouncing back this week. I'm telling you, Russ throwing 3 touchdowns. Book it now. 3 touchdowns. We're going to win. And I'm letting you know right now. We missed an extra point. I'm getting a plane ticket to Denver, and I'm pulling up on Will Levis myself. And we're going to have a conversation. But no, I think we're going to pull this one out. Hey, this is kind of, like I said, there's no must win in week 2s. But for us, it's a must win. You can't. It's going to be one of those. Here we go again. So you gotta you got to do something to keep that morale up in that locker room. So I think we're going to pull it out.
Okay. How about you, Joe?
I'm going with the Broncos too on this one. I think, like Denzel said, maybe it's not a must win, but to me, it kind of is. Like for early on in the year, especially like all of the AFC West. This is a big week. I mean, right now, surprisingly, the Raiders are at the top, but I mean, everyone else is one game behind.
Yeah.
So if you can't lose the game, like I said, you can't lose the games you're supposed to win. So you got to just take it one week at a time, win this one, and then everyone could be back on top. But yeah, I love the Broncos. I like their defense. Patrick Surtain's the best cornerback in football.
Say it again. Say that one more time for the people that didn't hear you.
Patrick Surtain is the best cornerback in football, hands down.
Sir. My
And
dog.
I think he's gonna, they should be able to contain Sam Howell.
I want to make a statement. Patrick Surtain is the best cornerback in football until he runs into DJ Moore week 4 in Chicago.
God.
That's what I got to say about that. But now for my pick. We can't be sleeping on these boys in Washington. That's gonna be a tough game. Sam Howell, he's pretty decent, right? He's not no scrub, right? And that defense in Washington's no scrubs either. It's gonna be a good game. But with that being said, Russ is back. He looked good week 1. I have to give him his props with basically nothing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't really have no receivers that he's throwing to.
Oh, at all.
So that was just like Russ doing it all, right? And it sucks that how it ended up because I feel like they very well could have won that game, and they were a kicker away from beating the Raiders, right? But Russ is definitely back. They're definitely going to be riding to a win at home. I know that field, that stadium is going to be buzzing. The Broncos fans are going to be ready. Obviously, they're probably pissed off, and it's a big game, like Joe said, for the whole AFC West. So I got the Broncos bouncing back in a huge way.
And I mean, they're going to be hungry to get Sean Payton that first win as the Broncos head coach. I mean, that's first and foremost. I mean, he'll have them ready.
Yeah, for sure. Now we're moving on to a very intriguing Sunday night football matchup where the Dolphins are taking on the Patriots. Who you got, Denzel?
I'm going with the Dolphins on this one. Tua, I doubt Tua a lot. Every week I'm like, there's no way he's going to be able just to throw for 466 yards. There's no way he's going to throw all these touchdowns. And he does it every time. And so I'm done. Hey, Tua, I'm done doubting you, bro.
Yeah,
you got it, man. I'm going with the Dolphins. It's gonna be a tough one, division, of course, but
right.
I think Dolphins will pull it out.
All right, how about you, Joe?
Yeah, I'm going with the Dolphins. I mean, I seen it first and foremost last week, dude. The Dolphins' offense is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, man,
hey, that's credit to you guys though, your offense, because any other team would have got blown out.
You're right.
Dude, I mean, we hung in there. I mean, dude, the Dolphins. If Tua. I'm a Tua doubter too. Don't get me wrong. I like Tua, but I mean, dude, he torched us last week. The Tyreek Hill's unguardable. That's plain and simple. Their offense is just so fast that if they even get an inch of space, Tyreek Hill is gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the scary thing is that they may put up more points this week than they did last week because the Patriots have no one to guard. No one has anyone that can guard Tyreek Hill for a full game. But the Chargers at least have someone, right? And they couldn't even get it done. Yeah. So when you look at the Patriots, I don't think there's a way in hell they're going to stop Tyreek Hill. I think the Dolphins win in a big way in New England.
Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill, man, he's on another level. He's serious. He might be like everyone says Jefferson's the best receiver in the league, but I think Tyreek Hill might have something to say
there's definitely an argument there. There definitely is a big argument there for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to start no controversy on here, with Vikings fans, but
no, I didn't think. But when Hill left KC, I was like, I don't think he's gonna be that good without Mahomes. Prove me wrong. Easy money. He balling over there, so he's nice though.
Yeah, for sure. So now we're moving on to Monday Night Football, where there's 2 Monday Night Football games. They do this every year where it's like the second week of the season. They have 2 games. So the first one on Monday Night Football is the Saints at the Panthers. Who you got, Denzel?
I'm going with the Saints, man. Derek Carr, man, even with the Raiders, he can win games. I feel like there was a lot more other stuff going on with the Raiders to make his record what it was. But
right.
Derek Carr is nice with the weapons. Chris Olave, Thomas. I think they're going to get it done.
Yeah. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, I think the Saints get it done as well. Like Denzel said, Derek Carr knows how to win games, and this will just be a good advantage for them to start 2-0 and get a win over a division opponent right there.
For sure. And I agree. I've always liked Derek Carr. I think I mentioned this last week to you, Joe. I don't feel like the Raiders deserved a quarterback like Derek Carr. I feel like he did everything for that city, but they didn't do enough for him. I'm glad that he was able to go out of that organization and go to an organization that appreciates him. I'm not saying the Raiders didn't always appreciate him, but I think they let him down at the end of his career. I got the Saints here too. I think Bryce Young looked decent. All the rookie quarterbacks look decent. Nothing special.
Yeah.
But I think the Saints defense is going to make it tough on Bryce Young. Shout out to my fam, Shaq Thompson. Hopefully he can have a decent game. But you know how I feel about this one, fellas. I need the Panthers to absolutely suck ass this year, because I need that first round pick to be number 1 overall. So Marvin Harrison Jr. is a Chicago Bear by the end of all this shit. So I got the Saints winning big in Carolina. So now we're moving on to the final Monday Night Football game and the final game of the week. And that is the Browns at the Steelers. And before you make your pick, Denzel, I need to mention this on the podcast that the Steelers absolutely pissed me off in week 1. Who do you got them rebounding this week?
So there's every week there's always that game.
Check your surroundings, Denzel, before you make your pick.
All right, let me look. Make sure White don't get mad. Let me double check. But no, there's every game. To me, this is my game of the week. Let me turn the hat on. This is one of the ones. I think it's gonna be, the ones where you gotta have a pizza. You gotta have the breadsticks. Give me the wings too. I need that drink too, because I'm not missing this. The AFC North, Browns Steelers. I think it's gonna be closer than a lot of people think.
Okay,
but I'm going with the Steelers, and because I don't want to get beat up at the house. But I definitely think the Steelers are gonna rebound. I don't think Mike Tomlin he can't let that happen twice. He can't.
Right.
He can't let that happen twice.
Okay, how about you, Joe?
The Browns looked really good last week. I gotta say that. Kind of like you said, bro, last week about the Browns, like that defense, they're tough.
Yeah.
They got Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, bunch of guys over there. It's going to be a hard fought game. Is this one in Pittsburgh?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Is this okay? Yeah, I'll go with the Steelers to bounce back. I don't know what happened last week. Like I said, I really don't. I mean, they just got dominated. But Mike Tomlin will get them right. I'll take the Steelers.
Oh, man. This is tough because you got the 49ers, the best defense line in football. Yeah. I think Cleveland is right behind them. I really do. And it's Myles Garrett alone. And the thing that scares me about this game is Kenny Pickett. He did not look good. All that preseason success went out the window, which you should never judge preseason of how things are going to go in the regular season, but he did not look good. It kind of looked like the Bears, an example. They didn't look prepared for the game. Like it just wasn't good, right? So I'm sorry, fellas. I'm gonna have to go against you guys. I got the Browns in that defense riding high into Pittsburgh and taking a huge win and taking kind of like command and saying, hey, this is our division this year, right? And I've always felt that way about Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, the second year, I think they're a really good football team. Nick Chubb, and then once again, they are led by that defense. They play really good defense, and I just don't think Kenny Pickett is going to have enough answers for that Browns defense.
Yeah. Another thing too, I just realized too after I made my pick, I forgot Deontay Johnson's hurt now too, so he's not even playing this week. So that's going to hurt the Steelers' offense right there.
Yeah, A-Rob gonna have to step up. A-Rob he got to step up, which I think he can. Him and Pickens wasn't really getting the ball that much,
No.
And they really need to. You got one of the best backs.
He's George Pickens.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. Like, you just went against a good defensive line in the Niners, so you should be battle tested and ready. And it is a divisional opponent, so it will be a really good game. I'm not saying the Browns are going to just sweep, the floor with the Steelers. It's just Kenny Pickett has to elevate his game. He has to go above and beyond to get them to win, and players around them also have to step up. We need to see more Najee Harris. Like, where the hell is Najee Harris? Not only for my fantasy team, he sucked in my fantasy team last week. I just need Najee Harris in general. That is the catalyst to the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, and we didn't see enough Najee Harris. That's not going to help your young quarterback in Kenny Pickett. We don't see Harris.
Yeah, I think I feel like you know, obviously you respect to the Niners D-line defense, one of the best in the league, if not the best. But I feel like the Steelers gave them too much respect in the
Right.
beginning. They didn't run Najee enough. No, I'm gonna keep running them. I don't care who you got over there. That's Najee back there. He
Right.
gonna break, but you gotta be able to wear him down. So hopefully, you know, they use them more, and that's gonna be key to success.
Try to find some better holes for him because hey, Fred Warner lit that boy up last week.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did for sure. So, fellas, that is our week 2 NFL picks. Once again, it's always a pleasure to have you guys on the podcast, and it's always a pleasure that we get a chance to watch football once again. Hopefully, all our teams can find success, and hopefully, we can come out with some pretty good records. Like I said last week, Joe did win the week with an 8-8 record. I'm 7-9, so I'm right on that ass, Joe. I'm coming. This is going to be a big week, like we like to say every single week. This is the week that we're going to go 17-0 this week. Hopefully, that's the case. And Denzel, as always, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's always a pleasure to have you on. You'll definitely have to come on soon, especially week 4 when the Bears prepare to slaughter the Denver Broncos in Chicago. We'll talk about that later. Once again,
then,
thank you so much.
We play 2 times a year too, so we're gonna have Denzel on for that one. We don't play till later in the year though. So
yeah. Well, look, we're gonna be settled in, nice. We're gonna be ready.
Right. So as always, Bears fans, I will put the picks up right now so you can see who Joe, Denzel, and I picked for the week 2 slate of NFL games. But let us know who you guys got winning in week 2 down below in the comment section. As always, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all my social media platforms. And just for the listeners, go ahead, Joe and Denzel, tell my listeners where they can find you on social media and stuff.
You can find me at Big Joe 916. I try to post Bubba stuff too as well. Like I said, I watch all of Bubba's podcasts, you know, so just make sure you guys are tuning in with Bubba and Keek on the mic.
Hey, Joe, just to let you know, they know me as Keek. They don't know me as Bubba, dog.
Oh, yeah,
come on
sorry,
now.
guys.
Yeah, come on now.
That's his stage name. Keek on the mic.
There we go. How about you, Young Zell?
Follow me at young_Zell, everything, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, YoungZell1. On YouTube, search Like the Beam. You'll see me.
These guys are the celebrities right here. These guys.
Hey, Denzel, send us off with the Keek on the Mic theme song because you are the creator of the Keek on the Mic theme song. Go ahead. Show them your skills. Come on.
Keek on the mic. Keek on the mic. Keek on the mic. Keek on the mic. People, this is the intro. We ain't gonna tell you what your info.
Talk bad about my team. You must be a clown. This is Keek on the Mic, so you know you better. What? Bear down. Thanks, guys.
You've been listening to Keek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.